Hello everyone. I'm so glad to see you here. Today we're starting a conversation that might seem unexpected, but I'm sure it will be valuable. We're going to talk about tea. Yes, tea, the simple drink many of us enjoy every day. Why is this important? Because tea can help control blood sugar levels, and that's an issue affecting nearly every American family. You see, in the US, more than 1/3 of adults have elevated blood sugar, and most don't even know it. This condition is called prediabetes. People feel fine, live their lives as usual, but inside, silent processes are gradually damaging blood vessels, nerves, the heart, and kidneys. It's a quiet enemy. And when it finally shows itself, it's often too late to turn things back. That's why prevention matters so much, the small steps you can start taking today. Let's be honest, most Americans drink far too many sugary beverages. Sodas, energy drinks, coffee loaded with syrups. All of these create blood sugar roller coasters every single day. You drink a can of cola, and within minutes your blood sugar shoots up. The pancreas works overtime pumping out insulin, and an hour later you crash, tired, sluggish, craving yet another sugary snack. It's a vicious cycle. That's how insulin resistance develops, and step by step, the body moves toward diabetes. Now imagine making just one swap. Instead of soda after lunch, you have a cup of green tea. Instead of dessert with a syrupy coffee in the evening, you enjoy a warm cup of cinnamon or hibiscus tea. It seems small, but the difference is huge. Tea doesn't trigger sugar spikes, in fact, it helps your body respond more smoothly to food. The bioactive compounds in tea improve insulin sensitivity, reduce inflammation, and even slow down the breakdown of carbohydrates in the gut. I know what some of you are thinking, really? Tea can affect something that's serious? Yes, it can. It's not a magic pill that cures diabetes in a week. But it is a daily tool that supports your body. And the best part? It's simple. You don't have to change your whole life, spend more money, or hunt for exotic ingredients. You just need a kettle, a cup, and a few minutes. Tea is also a ritual. It's a pause. When you brew it, wait, breathe in the aroma, take that first sip, you slow down. And calmness is also part of blood sugar control. Stress can raise glucose just as much as sweets. So one cup of tea works in two ways, physiologically and psychologically. Today, I want you to take just one step. Think about which drink in your day you could replace with tea. Maybe it's your sugary morning coffee, that midday soda, or the evening glass of juice. Swap it out. See how you feel. This is just the beginning of our journey, but great changes always start with small steps. In the first part, we talked about why replacing sugary drinks with tea can be your first step towards stable blood sugar. Now let's go deeper, which teas bring the greatest benefits, and why do they work? Let's begin with green tea. Millions drink it daily, often just out of habit or for taste, but without realizing its health potential. Green tea contains catechins, antioxidants that help our cells hear insulin better. What does that mean? When you eat, glucose rises in your blood. Insulin is the key that unlocks the door for glucose to enter the cells. But if the cells are deaf, the key doesn't work. Catechins restore sensitivity, allowing glucose to move into cells instead of lingering in the blood. That's why people who regularly drink green tea tend to have lower post-meal blood sugar and even lose excess weight more easily. To brew it right, don't use boiling water, but let it cool to around 80 degrees Celsius 175 degrees Fahrenheit, and steep for no longer than 3 minutes to preserve flavor. Next, cinnamon. Most of us think of it as a spice for baked goods, but as a tea it works very differently. Cinnamon contains polyphenol that slow the breakdown of carbohydrates into glucose. That means instead of a sharp spike, you get a gentler rise in blood sugar after meals. Cinnamon may also reduce bad cholesterol, an important bonus for anyone at risk of heart disease. To make cinnamon tea, just steep a stick of real, preferably Ceylon, cinnamon in hot water for a few minutes. You'll get a naturally sweet, fragrant drink, with zero sugar. And then there's hibiscus, also known as carcade. This ruby red, tangy tea is refreshing and powerful. Its strength comes from anthocyanins, compounds that support blood vessels and lower blood pressure. Since diabetes often comes hand in hand with circulation problems, hibiscus offers a double benefit. Drink it hot or cold. Imagine you're used to grabbing a soda at work. Instead, prepare a bottle of chilled hibiscus tea and take it with you, refreshing, sugar-free, and truly good for your health. One key point, these teas work gradually. Don't expect miracles in 3 days. But if you make them part of your daily routine, within a few weeks you'll feel the difference: steadier energy, fewer crashes after meals, reduced sugar cravings. And over time, this will show up in your lab results too. Consistency is crucial. 2 cups a day, every day, is better than a liter once a week. And always choose quality: loose leaf green tea, real cinnamon sticks, genuine hibiscus petals, not flavored tea bags loaded with sugar. Think of how this can fit your day: green tea in the morning, hibiscus at lunch, warm cinnamon in the evening. A simple plan, requiring little effort, but capable of changing your daily health picture. We already know that green tea, cinnamon, and hibiscus are powerful allies for blood sugar control. But the world of tea is much bigger, and there are other options worth discovering. For many people, these become the real game changers. First, mulberry leaf tea. It's not well known in the US, but in Asia it's been used for centuries. Mulberry leaves contain compounds that slow the enzymes that break down starch. Imagine eating a bowl of rice or pasta. Normally your blood sugar would shoot up quickly. But with mulberry's compounds at work, the process is slower, giving you a smoother rise instead of a spike. That eases pressure on the pancreas and protects blood vessels. The flavor is mild, making it easy to drink daily. You can brew it on its own or mix it with green tea for a richer taste. Another option, blueberry leaf tea. We often celebrate blueberries as a superfood, but their leaves also hold unique value. They contain compounds that improve insulin sensitivity and support blood vessels. That's crucial if you want to manage glucose and protect your heart at the same time. The taste is delicate with a slight bitterness, perfect for evenings, since it's naturally caffeine-free. Chamomile deserves its own spotlight. Many think of it as just a bedtime tea, but studies show that regular chamomile tea can reduce average glucose levels in people with type 2 diabetes. Why? Because chamomile lowers inflammation, which underlies insulin resistance. And of course, chamomile improves sleep. And sleep directly affects blood sugar. People who sleep only 4 to 5 hours a night often have higher fasting glucose, even if they didn't eat before bed. So, an evening cup of chamomile offers double support: calm and steadier sugar. Peppermint is another simple but effective choice. Refreshing, relaxing, and surprisingly helpful in cutting sugar cravings. Many people say a cup of peppermint tea makes dessert less tempting, like a natural stop signal. Plus, it soothes the stomach and aids digestion. And then there's ginger, warming, spicy, and energizing. Ginger improves glucose metabolism and reduces insulin resistance. It's especially helpful in colder months or as a morning boost. Just steep a few slices of fresh root in hot water, and you'll have a fragrant, invigorating tea that also supports metabolism. Each of these teas fits naturally into different times of day: green tea or ginger in the morning, mulberry or hibiscus after lunch, chamomile or peppermint at night. Simple, but effective. Of course, personal details matter. If you have low blood pressure, don't overdo hibiscus. If you're on blood-thinning medication, use ginger carefully. But for most people, these teas are safe, accessible, and effective. The key is making them a ritual. Not just trying once and forgetting, but building habits. Maybe after work you always brew peppermint instead of reaching for sweets. Or every morning you start with green tea instead of cream-heavy coffee. We've already explored different types of tea and how they affect blood sugar. But now it's time to focus on the most important part, how to actually make this knowledge work in your daily life. And also on what you must pay attention to so that the benefits don't turn into risks. Rule 1: Consistency. Tea works only when you drink it daily. This isn't a 3-day experiment or a quick fix. It's a new habit, part of your lifestyle. Instead of chasing instant solutions, build a simple daily ritual. A cup of green tea in the morning, chilled hibiscus after lunch, chamomile or mint in the evening. It sounds basic, but this is how the foundation of health is formed. Rule 2: Moderation. Don't assume the more, the better. 2 to 3 cups a day is enough. If you start drinking liters, it can irritate your stomach, affect your sleep, or interact with medications. Tea is a tool of support, not a competition of quantity. Rule 3: Quality. Much of what you see in supermarkets, tea bags with added flavors, won't give the same effect. They often contain sugar, sweeteners, or synthetic aromas. Choose loose-leaf teas, real herbs, and natural spices. That way you're getting the real active compounds, not just flavored water. Rule 4: Safety. If you already have health conditions or take medication, be cautious. For example, hibiscus may lower blood pressure, ginger can influence blood clotting, and cinnamon in high doses can stress the liver. For most people this isn't a concern, but it's better to know these details and pick your tea wisely. Rule 5: Synergy. Tea helps on its own, but it works best when combined with other healthy habits. If you move more, reduce processed foods, and get proper sleep, the effect of tea multiplies. It isn't a hidden secret, it's part of a bigger picture. Think about how you can integrate this into your routine. Maybe you usually keep a soda can on your desk. Replace it with a bottle of unsweetened iced tea. Or maybe you tend to reach for dessert at night. Try brewing warm cinnamon or mint instead. These small steps genuinely reshape your habits. I know some of you are waiting for a magic recipe. But the truth is, there is no magic. Only small daily choices that add up. Tea is one of those tools. It doesn't take effort, it's affordable, it doesn't force you to give up everything you enjoy. It simply swaps what harms you for what helps you. And here's the psychological bonus: when you choose tea over soda or sweetened coffee, you feel in control. You're actively choosing your health. That builds confidence, and that confidence spills over into other parts of life. You're no longer a passive victim of circumstances but the driver of your own future. So now you have all the knowledge. You know which teas support blood sugar, how to brew them correctly, what safety notes to remember, and how to weave them into your daily rhythm. The next step is yours. Start small. Today, replace one sugary DRI.